Hey everyone. In this Thanksgiving special, I want to talk to you about the importance of practicing gratitude. And I don't just mean today, I mean as often as possible. Thanksgiving is an awesome holiday, but we shouldn't only practice gratitude one day out of the year. It's really important that you practice it as much as you can, because gratitude, in a way, is kind of like a door to happiness. And as long as you keep practicing gratitude, that door stays open and you can always walk through and visit happiness. But once you start neglecting gratitude, that door begins to close and it becomes a lot harder to find happiness in your everyday life. You see, I'm sure we all know on a day-to-day basis your life doesn't usually change all that much. Now, over time, it does, of course, because your day-to-day actions will influence the future life that you end up having. But on a daily basis, it seems like life is kind of just normal. It seems like it doesn't really move or nothing changes. And this is why it's important to practice gratitude often, because when you don't practice it and you're just going from day to day, it can be a bit harder to find happiness if you're not already living in such a way where you are happy, or if your external circumstances aren't playing out in a way that makes you happy. So when your life is kind of just normal, and you wouldn't describe it as being anything great or anything bad, and you're kind of just in the middle, this is where we can fall into the trap of not being happy because we're not practicing gratitude. This is where we kind of just feel complacent, but we're not ecstatic about life. So practicing gratitude allows you to break through this, and it makes it so that on a day-to-day basis you will find happiness because you'll be reminding yourself of all the great things you have in your life. In fact, I used to keep a gratitude journal for a long time. I think I did it for a few years, and the only reason I stopped doing it was because I moved and ended up losing track of the journal. But I remember when I was doing it, every day the number one thing that I would always say was I was grateful for being alive in the first place. This is the easiest way to find happiness, just reminding yourself how incredible it is to even be alive, to even be able to experience everything that life has to offer. Because even when there are bad times, just the fact that you get to experience that is pretty crazy. Because if you weren't alive, you wouldn't be experiencing anything at all. In my mind, even experiencing bad things is good just because I still get to experience it as a human being who is alive. If I was gone, if I was dead, I wouldn't be able to experience anything at all. So I would much rather experience the bad than experience nothing. That's just the way I am. But I feel like that is one of the easiest ways to find happiness, being grateful for just being alive. But beyond that, you should just think about at least 3 things that you are grateful for as often as possible. I would say you should do this every day. I would recommend you maintain a gratitude journal. But if that's too much work, then at least maybe make a sort of 5-minute daily ritual that you either do in the morning or in the evening before going to bed, where you just think about 3 things that you're grateful for today. And they can be whatever you want. You can even say the same 3 things every day. As long as you do it, that's all that matters. The things themselves don't matter quite as much as the practice itself. Because, like I said, the first thing on my list every day was always me being grateful for even being alive in the first place. So it's okay to reuse things. Just make sure that you make gratitude a practice, because when you do, I guarantee you that you'll find happiness in your life a lot more. I would almost say you could maintain your happiness by practicing gratitude, because it becomes a lot harder to be knocked down when you're constantly making yourself aware of how great you already have it and how many things you already have in your life that you're thankful to have. So I encourage all of you to create some form of a daily practice of gratitude. Just choose whichever works best for you and then maintain the habit as much as possible. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!